It's time to get your passports ready because we are going to Europe. And best of all, I'll be showing you how to do it for cheap because we'll be using credit card points and miles that we'll be able to keep most of your cash in your pocket. So let the fun begin. The first program that we'll be taking a look at here is Air Canada's Aeroplan. At the time of recording this video, this is still a distance-based rewards program, meaning the number of miles or points you'll have to use is based on how far you fly. As an example of this, let's take a look at this chart here directly from Aeroplan. So at the top, we have first the distance on the far left, from 0 up to 4,000 miles. Then to the left, we have operated by, and then it's either Air Canada or one of their partner airlines. And the four other columns that follow are the different classes, so economy all the way through first. So you can see here with economy, for this distance here up to 4K miles, will require using 35,000 up to 60,000 Aeroplan points directly from Air Canada. That is if they're operating the flight, or if one of their partners operates the flight, it will be a flat 35,000 points. Then for business class, the range will be 60,000 up to 160,000 directly from Air Canada's operations, or from one of their partners, a flat 60,000. These rates, by the way, are for one-way travel. And throughout this video, I will be showing you one-way flight options. So if you want to do round trip on the exact same destination or origin airports, just double the rates pretty much to get an idea of what round trip would cost. But by showing one way, it gives you a lot more flexibility because especially in Europe with so many countries in one small area, if you want to go to Greece and then travel around to different countries and then maybe 1 or 2 weeks later to go home, maybe you want to leave from Switzerland. So that's why having a lot of one-way options can be useful to put together an itinerary for different origin and destinations. So let's take a look at a few examples here. The first one will be New York's JFK Airport, and we're going to be going over to Frankfurt. The airlines that will be taking us there will be Air Canada Express and Lufthansa, and the number of points needed to be redeemed will be 35,000 for economy and 60K for business class. Do note, however, that this does not include taxes and fees, which will currently be about $56 to $84 each way. And here's a screenshot directly from Aeroplan search results as I was playing around with different itineraries. So we have the origin of New York, arriving in Frankfurt with that layover at YUL, which is Montreal, by the way, just under 4 hours there. So economy class, roughly 35K miles, actually a little bit under, which is cool. And then business class for 60,000. Let's do another one. We'll once again depart from JFK in the US, and this time we're going to Rome. The airline taking us there will be Swiss Airlines, and the costs here in points will be 40,000 for economy or 70,000 for business. Here's how that one looks on Aeroplan's site with an all-in travel time of a little over 10 hours here. Just one stop, a very brief one actually, in Zurich. And we got 40K for economy and 70K for business class with the taxes and fees in Canadian dollars, just $100 there listed right underneath that. And how about a third example? Still departing from the East Coast at JFK, this time we'll be arriving at LHR, which is London Heathrow's airport, again flying Swiss Airlines. Economy this time will cost us still 40,000 points, and business again at 70,000 points. And here's a screenshot from Aeroplan search results showing this route. This time the taxes and fees are a little bit higher at 114 Canadian dollars. But again, it's nice that it's the same amount of taxes and fees no matter which class you're flying here. Now, I'm sure many of you out there are wondering, why in the world are we using Air Canada's program to A, not fly Air Canada most of the time, and B, fly to Europe? Again, that's not Canada. Well, that's because we have these things called airline alliances, and we're using the Star Alliance. You can see Air Canada pictured right there on the screen. These airline alliances, and there are 3 main big ones by the way, allow different airlines to partner together to share different flights, different awards, benefits, and more. That's why you're able to use Air Canada Aeroplan points to fly on other partner airlines like ANA, Avianca, Brussels, Lufthansa, Singapore, United, and others. And that is perhaps the biggest takeaway you can learn from this video. Just because you have Air Canada points or United miles or American airline miles does not mean you have to only fly with those airlines. There are tons of other partners out there to help you build really, really great itineraries and oftentimes travel for way less. And I will admit, some of this does get very complicated, but fortunately the ones I'm showing you in today's video are going to be very simple and straightforward. So in terms of how to book the flights that we just went over, here's some very helpful tips. I'm happy to say that Aeroplan's program is very straightforward. All you have to do is create an Aeroplan account and log in, then select Book with Points, search for award availability, transfer points to Aeroplan if you need to, and then complete your booking. To find that Book with Points option, you really don't have to look very far or hard because it's right there on the front page of Air Canada's site. So as you type in your from and to airports, also the dates, the passengers, and all that like you would normally do, just be sure to select that little box there to use your Aeroplan points. But what if you don't have any Aeroplan points? Well, let's solve for that right now. Here are several great ways to earn Aeroplan points with some credit card rewards programs. First of all, we can start with any of the 4 listed here on the screen: American Express Membership Rewards Points, Chase Ultimate Rewards Points, Capital One Venture or Spark Miles, and Bilt Rewards Points. You can earn points in these programs by using the corresponding credit cards. For American Express, any card that earns membership rewards points will work just fine. The 3 that I have listed here on the screen are the American Express Platinum Card, Amex Gold Card, and Amex Green Card. For Chase, you'll have to have some specific cards. That is the Sapphire Preferred, or the Sapphire Reserve, or the Ink Preferred, or any cards they release in the future that give you access to transfer partners. With Capital One, you can use any of their Adventure branded cards or their Spark Miles cards on the business side. And then for Bilt, right now there's just one card, and that is the Bilt MasterCard. All 4 of these rewards programs, when combined with their respective credit cards, give you access to transfer partners, meaning you can transfer the points earned from these cards out to other partner airlines, and Air Canada's Aeroplan program is one of them. For that reason, it can be very advantageous to use multiple cards across different issuers, especially if one issuer has cards that work well for dining and entertainment, while another one may be better for travel and online shopping. So if you go in and use multiple cards to help you earn rewards faster and combine them all indirectly together, check out today's sponsor called MAXREWARDS to make managing all that way easier. MAXREWARDS is an app that allows you to manage your credit cards, rewards, and benefits all in one place. This includes seeing when your bills are due, tracking your sign-up bonuses, monitoring your credit scores, and more. On the Activity tab, you can view the transactions across all your cards to easily see where you've been spending your money, including the value of the rewards you've earned across different categories. Then the Best Card tab helps you identify which card to use for different purchases. That way you can earn points or cash back even faster. And perhaps my favorite feature is the Benefits and Offers dashboard, which you can unlock with the gold level of MAXREWARDS. You might be familiar with Chase offers, Amex offers, Bank of America deals, and others. These are like digital coupons that provide you with additional savings and discounts on top of the regular rewards you earn. Each time you sync the app, all of your offers will be activated automatically, including the hidden ones from Amex that you didn't even know about. In fact, my Amex Gold Card showed 162 offers that were ready to go thanks to MAXREWARDS. So if you'd like to try MAXREWARDS, use the link down below in the description to get the gold level entirely free for your first month. Now let's get back to some more examples, this time using a completely different airline, a different alliance, and less of a focus on New York. The program that we'll be giving our attention to now is going to be Flying Blue, which is shared by both Air France and KLM. Although they no longer publish a public award chart showing you how many miles to get from one region or area to another, they do still have a pretty nifty calculator where you can type in your origin airport and then your destination airport, and then it will show you how many miles you should anticipate needing to redeem to make that happen. We'll start our journey over on the West Coast in Los Angeles and fly to Paris. The airline making this route a reality for us will be Air France, and for the mileage redemption here, economy will cost 24,000 miles and business will be 80,000. Here's how all that looks on Air France's end, and it does function a little bit differently than we saw on Aeroplan because you have to toggle between the different fare classes. So up at the top there, you see Los Angeles to Paris, then in the middle, you see the drop down for economy class, which I've selected right now, and then those fares do appear for 24,000 miles. There are also some nasty fares down there for over 117,000 miles, so definitely avoid those. Just be patient though, because it can oftentimes take a while to find award availability, especially those lower fares, so you might have to be more creative and flexible with your approach. You might find them on certain days or months and not in others. And that holds true all the time, not just with Air France or KLM. Then switching over to view business class fares for that same Los Angeles to Paris route, we did find here that 80,000 mileage rate. Taxes and fees here are roughly 189 euros. Let's check out some flight options from the central US, this time departing from DFW or Dallas-Fort Worth International, going over to Amsterdam. The airlines here will be Air France and KLM together. For economy rates, we'll have 19,500 mileage redemptions, and then for business, that will cost us 55,000 miles. After sifting through a bunch of not so great redemptions like the one there in the middle of the screen for 220,000 miles, we did find that 19,500 mileage sweet spot there, with taxes and fees just being about 76 euros. And kicking aside that really stupid redemption of 220,000 miles, the other ones are also not that bad at 30,000 and 40,000 respectively. And the same goes for business class too. Putting a bunch of those really nasty redemptions aside and looking for just those lowest fare options, we did find a couple here for 55,000 miles. For our third example here with the Flying Blue program, we'll go from Atlanta over to Barcelona on Air France in economy for 21,000 miles or in business for 68,000 miles. Here's one I found at that 21,000 mile rate in economy plus about 76 euros in taxes and fees, then a couple more to follow in business class for 68,000 miles and about 206 euros in taxes and fees there, plus a couple super laughable fares for 680,000 miles. Ain't nobody deserve that. Now, although we use the rewards program directly for Air France and KLM, these two are also part of a much broader alliance. In this case, it's the SkyTeam Alliance. There are a bunch of other airlines you may be familiar with like Delta, Virgin Atlantic, ITA Airways, and others here. And so again, same concept as before, you can use airline miles from one program to fly on a different airline, which naturally gives you way more flexibility when putting together your itineraries. And you probably want to find the airline combinations in those search results that require the fewest number of miles and also respecting the times and the routes that you do want to take. In terms of how to book these awards, it's also very straightforward with the Flying Blue program. Simply create a Flying Blue account if you don't already have one, then go to Air France's US website, which is currently www.airfrance.us, then choose the Book with Miles option. Log into your Flying Blue account if it prompts you to do so, then select Book with Points, search for award availability, transfer points into the Flying Blue program if you don't already have enough miles to use, and then complete your booking. Fortunately, that Book with Miles feature is very easy to find once again right there on Air France's site. So again, log in here, make sure you select that tab, then do your search as normal and proceed from there. And perhaps the best part, Flying Blue participates as a transfer partner with all 5 major bank point programs. So you can start with American Express, Chase, Capital One City, or Built Points, then go ahead and use those same cards that we saw earlier, this time bringing in Citi. Right now, just the Premier card gives you access to the transfer partner. There are rumors of Citi maybe announcing future cards, maybe the Strata Elite or Strata Premier, to be determined if those cards come out. But as I record this video right now, we just have the Citi Premier. Then whichever cards you decide to get, you can then transfer directly into the Flying Blue program and then book your flights on the Air France site. And for our third and final program of this edition of Flying to Europe, we'll choose a very common program that so many people know, that is United MileagePlus. Let's first get the bad news out of the way. As of November 15th, 2019, United is no longer publishing an award chart listing the set amount of miles needed for each flight. Yeah, not so customer friendly, but we can't just blame United. Unfortunately, a lot of other airlines are following this same pattern here as we move forward into the world of dynamic pricing, which means rather than having a set chart of saying, if you start here and go to Athens, Greece, for example, it will always be 80,000 miles. No more of that. Now it's dynamic, so as cash rates fluctuate, it could be the same for miles. It might be 60,000 one month, it might be 95 another, it might be 130,000 different months. So we got to play around with it and to see what rates seem reasonable for our redemptions. For our first example here, we'll depart New Jersey's airport, that is Newark or EWR, and go over to Athens, Greece. The airline taking us on over will be Austrian, and the points or miles needed needed here will be $33,000 in economy and $77,000 in business. Despite the lack of a published award chart, United still has a very useful feature called flexible dates. And by checking that option as you do your search, you'll be able to see a month view of all the reward redemptions here at one time rather than going day by day or week by week. Once you find the fare that you want, you can then go into the more granular view and view the different classes or fares. So now we have the economy and business rates showing together here, 33,000 and 77,000 miles respectively, and also either way having about $29 in taxes and fees. Example number 2. This time we're departing the tropical east coast of Miami, going over to Vienna on LOT Polish Airlines. Economy will cost us 33,000 miles and business will again cost us 77,000 miles. Here's that search result page again. There are tons of different options with different layovers. You might want a shorter layover, you might want a longer one, depending on if you want to spend some time perhaps in a different city. Fortunately, those taxes and fees are still very inexpensive at just $26.70. And for our third and final example there at the bottom, to close out today's video, we're going to go from Chicago over to Dublin, flying Swiss Airlines in economy for 33,000 miles or in business for 155,000. Now, something very interesting I want to point out here that you want to make sure you're aware of as you're going through all these different bookings that we've covered in today's video. Notice here that both of these shown on the screen in both red and green have these same mileage rates. 33,000 for economy, premium economy in the middle at 120, and then business at the end at 155,000 miles. However, the taxes and fees, while reasonable for either itinerary, they do differ here. So up at the top, they are $23.60, where at the bottom in red, it is $42.50 per flight. And the reason for this is notice that there are different carriers involved. In green, the airline here was Swiss International Airlines, whereas the other one was operated by Lufthansa. Again, a small difference here between these two, but hey, there might be greater differences for different carriers and different itineraries that you may build. So if one's going to cost you 50 bucks and someone else costs 200, definitely keep that in mind. But of course, go with the option that gives you the best timing, best pricing, best routing, layovers, all that you want for your trip. As we discussed earlier with Air Canada, United also participates in the same Star Alliance, meaning you can use your United miles to fly on all these different carriers to be more creative with your itineraries and help you get to different areas of the world with these different airlines. When it comes to booking the awards that we just went over for United, again, it's a very straightforward process here. All you've got to do is create a United MileagePlus account if you don't already have one and log in. Select the Book with Miles option, search for award availability, transfer points into the MileagePlus program if needed, and then complete your booking. United prominently displays the Book with Miles option right there on the home page when you begin your search, so be sure to tick that little box right there and then move forward. And then for the how to earn these points, the two main programs that transfer directly into the United MileagePlus program are going to be Chase Ultimate Rewards points and then the Built Rewards program as well. So there are also the cards you want to have in your wallet to be able to earn the points to move into United. And that is how you can fly to Europe for cheap by using some of these to your advantage. With all that said, if you enjoyed today's video and believe it could benefit other people, then please help me get it in front of them by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on those notifications. Also, check out the links down below in the description area to earn some more cash back when you shop online through Rakuten, to sign up for MAXREWARDS, which is a great app to manage multiple credit cards, rewards, benefits, and more all in one place, and to view my site with some great credit card offers that I've organized into different categories to help you find the cards that you like best. I thank you all for watching today's video. Hope it brought you some great value. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and while you're waiting for it to hit this channel, always remember that you are great.